Okay, so you want to get the real story, the deep understanding, but without wading through tons of text, right? That's what we do here. And today, we're diving into something we all deal with, dressing for winter.
Right. It seems simple, but there's a lot there.
Exactly. Our starting point is this little conversation. A mom sending her son, Jimmy, out into the cold.
Yeah, it's from an English learning resource, actually.
Which sounds basic, but honestly, it's packed with useful stuff. Our mission, you could say, is to pull out the key bits, not just what winter clothes, but why they matter, the language we use, even some of the, feelings tied to bundling up.
It's fascinating, really, how much an everyday chat like that reveals.
Totally. We want you to walk away feeling like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It's not just about staying warm, is it? It's how we talk about it, the assumptions underneath.
Right. So let's dig in.
Okay.
So mom kicks it off with the classic. Put a hat on.
Uh-huh. A hat.
Now, we all know hat, but it's kind of funny how English uses that one word for, well, almost anything you put on your head.
That's true. It's very general.
In this case, yeah, probably a warm winter hat, a beanie, maybe, but the word itself is so broad.
It probably just comes down to its long history, For protection, for status, fashion. Hat just became the catch-all term.
Yeah, makes sense.
We do have specifics, like you said, beanie, toque, things like that. But the mom just saying hat tells you the main thing's just covering the head. Keep it warm.
Okay, item number 2, hands. She says you'll be too cold without mittens.
Mittens, not gloves.
Right. And that's a key difference, isn't it? Mittens keep fingers warmer. They're all packed in together except the thumb.
Exactly. Gloves give each finger its own little space.
So it's a trade-off, warmth versus being able to actually do stuff.
Precisely. It's physics, really. Less surface area exposed in a mitten, so less heat loss. That's why, for super cold weather, even adults might wear them.
Like for skiing, maybe.
Skiing, mountaineering, yeah. Warmth is just the absolute priority over fiddling with zippers or whatever.
The source even says you look like a penguin in them, which feels pretty accurate.
Huh. Yeah, you do lose that dexterity.
Which is why most adults go for gloves day to day, I guess. We need to use our phones to grab keys.
That's it. And maybe that shifted over time, too. Like, maybe historically mittens were more common for adults doing manual work outside.
Interesting point. Okay, next up, the scarf. Wear this scarf.
Simple enough. Long piece of cloth, usually wool, it says, around the neck.
But it really does make a huge difference to how warm you feel overall, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You lose a lot of heat from your neck. Big blood vessels close to the surface there.
So the scarf basically traps that heat.
Exactly. And wool is great for that, like the source mentions. Good insulator.
And finally, the earmuffs. Mom says, oh, and earmuffs. Put these on. Here we go.
Right. The earmuffs.
This is where it feels a bit much. Like, if he has a hat on, wouldn't that cover his ears already?
Potentially, yeah. It does seem a little redundant, maybe.
Or maybe the hat doesn't cover the ears well.
Could be. Or maybe mom's just being extra, extra careful.
Yeah.
Doubling up. Especially if it's windy, which she mentions.
Yeah.
Wind chill can be brutal on the ears.
True. So maybe not totally crazy, depending on the hat and the weather.
Perhaps not.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the hat's doing its job, earmuffs might be overkill sometimes.
Okay, so that's the gear. But the conversation itself is also great for, everyday English phrases. The source calls them fluency builder.
Uh-huh. Useful stuff.
First one, see ya.
Yeah. Super common.
Yeah.
Just a casual way of saying see you later, isn't it?
Totally. You say it to friends, family, not your boss, probably.
Right. Definitely informal. It's that relaxed yeah sound for you.
Okay, then hold on. Mom says, hold on. With that wind, you're going to catch a cold.
Meaning wait, basically.
Yeah, it's wait. And the source notes it's always hold on, not hold that. Why just on, do you think?
Well, phrasal verbs are often like that, aren't they?
What?
Bit idiomatic. The combination hold on just sort of stuck with the meaning of pause or wait.
Mm-hmm.
Hold that just doesn't have that established meaning. Language is funny like that. Common usage wins out.
Makes sense. Okay, this one's interesting. Catch a cold. Mom warns about catching a cold. The source says we use catch, not get. Why catch? It feels a bit active.
Yeah, I think it probably comes from that idea of contagion, how cold spread. Like it's something you can almost grab or that grabs you.
Oh, like it's out there and you might accidentally catch it.
Exactly. Well, get is more general, like getting a package. Catch feels more specific to illness, especially something contagious like a cold. It's a bit metaphorical.
Huh. Never thought of it that way. Okay, last phrase. Here we go.
Mom says it as she puts the earmuffs on him.
And the source says it means something's finished or ready or being presented. You hear it a lot. Loading bars on computers.
Or when someone serves you food. Here we go.
Yeah. What's the feeling behind it?
It often signals a completion or a start. Like, okay, this part is done, or okay, now we're doing this. In the mom's case, it's like, right, earmuffs are on, task complete, you're ready.
Gotcha. It marks a little transition.
Exactly. Sometimes with a bit of finality or even inevitability, depending on the context.
You know, all this talk about bundling up,
Yeah.
it definitely brings back memories. You mentioned growing up in Chicago.
Oh, yeah. The full winter gear ritual, it was intense.
Layer upon layer.
Absolutely. Snow pants first,
Right.
the crinkly kind, then the huge boots, then the coat, the hat, the scarf, often mittens and earmuffs. You'd waddle out the door.
Feeling like the Michelin Man.
Totally. And then you get inside school, someone's house, and instantly you're just sweating, overheating immediately.
Yes. That feeling, it's such a specific memory for anyone from a cold place.
And then taking it all off at school, the chaos in the hallway, wet boots everywhere.
Making sure your stuff didn't make a giant puddle.
Exactly. It's funny, the things you remember, these mundane routines,
Yeah.
but they stick with you.
It really does drive home how necessary all this gear is in those climates, though. It wasn't just for fun.
No, absolutely not. It's
Yeah.
about staying healthy,
Mhm.
avoiding that cold mom was worried about.
And the source kind of repeats that point. Cover your neck, cover your head, scarf and hat. Really important for keeping your core temperature up.
Basic practical wisdom passed down, isn't it? Keep those key heat loss areas covered. The mom's nagging is just, well, sensible advice.
And for anyone wanting to lock this vocab in, that EnglishPod review section sounds useful. Going over mitten, hold on, scarf.
Yeah, getting the definitions again, like hand covering, separating thumb from fingers for mitten.
Or stop or wait for hold on.
Uh-huh. And hearing them in example sentences really helps cement it. Like, can you hold on a second? Or seeing how scarf is used makes it stick.
Okay, so wrapping up, we've kind of pulled apart this short dialogue and found quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a lot from just a few lines.
You got the essential winter kit, the all-purpose hat, the warmth of mittens versus the dexterity of gloves, the crucial scarf, and those earmuffs. And the language side, too.
Right, those useful phrases. See ya for casual goodbyes, asking someone to hold on, specifically catching a cold, and that little transition marker. Here we go.
It really shows how everyday language and practical needs are just completely woven together.
Definitely. So as you're listening, maybe think about your own winter routines. Did you have the full snowsuit experience?
Or maybe some of these English phrases clicked for you in a new way.
Yeah, which item or phrase stands out to you now? Or maybe surprised you? It's often in these small, everyday things that we find the most interesting connections, isn't it?